Let's learn biology with me. I am Puan NURASHIKIN Binti MUZAFAR from SMK Convent Ipoh. Assalamualaikum and good morning to all of you. Today, we are going to learn about subtopic 9.2. The title is digestion. Before we start our lesson, let me introduce to you the learning objective for today. First, at the end of the lesson, you'll be able to analyze the process and product of carbohydrate digestion in the mouth. Second, you are able to analyze the process and product of protein digestion in the stomach. And last one, you are able to analyze the process and product of lipid digestion, protein digestion, and carbohydrate digestion in the small intestine. Yummy! Wow! This is nasi lemak. Can you please tell me what are the classes of food in nasi lemak? Yes, there are few classes of food in a plate of nasi lemak. There is protein in the egg, there is carbohydrate in the rice, and also lipid from the coconut milk in the rice, and also in the groundnut. Do you know how is the process of carbohydrate, protein, and lipid digestion take place in our body? Let us learn about it.
Please remember the meaning of digestion. What is the meaning of digestion? The digestion is the process that breaks down large and complex pieces of food into smaller and simple pieces that can be dissolved for easy absorption. So this is the meaning of digestion. Okay, the process to break down the larger molecule, or larger food into smaller or simple pieces of food. So it can be easier to be dissolved, and absorbed in our body. Okay, so this is the part of our digestive system. You already learned in Form 2. Okay, next. How is the process of digestion of carbohydrate in the mouth? Okay, so the digestive process must be begin in the mouth because we eat through the mouth. Okay, the presence of food in the mouth simulates the secretion of saliva from the salivary gland. Okay, so in our mouth, there is salivary gland that can secrete the saliva. Okay, saliva contains the important enzyme we call it as salivary amylase, function to hydrolyze starch to maltose. Okay, so the pH of the saliva ranges between 6.5 to 7.5. So this is slightly acidic or slightly alkaline, okay, which is suitable for the salivary amylase to take action. Okay, this is called as optimum pH. Okay, so this is the equation, okay, that happen in our mouth. Okay, starch plus water with the presence of salivary amylase, so it will form maltose. So maltose is simpler sugar, okay, compared to starch. Okay, you still remember in chapter 4, starch is polysaccharide while maltose is disaccharide. So this is the process of hydrolysis because plus water. Okay, next. Saliva helps food, okay, to form bolus and makes it easier to be swallowed. When swallowing, the epiglottis will close, okay, the trachea opening to prevent food from entering the trachea. So this is extra information for you. Okay, when the food is bitten by the teeth, okay, we chew the food. Okay, so now the food become bolus. Okay, so when we swallow the food, okay, what happened to the epiglottis? Epiglottis will close. Okay, will close the trachea. So the food will, the bolus will enter our esophagus. Okay, so in the esophagus, the food bolus is moved, okay, by peristalsis. What is peristalsis? Okay, peristalsis is the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of muscle along the alimentary canal. So peristalsis is the movement of the muscle, contract and relax rhythmically. Okay. Peristalsis, okay, this movement will push the bolus through the esophagus until it enters the stomach, our esophagus. This is salivary amylase. This is our esophagus. So you can see now the bolus will enter our esophagus, the epiglottis will close. So now the food or the bolus will enter to the stomach. So this is what we call as peristalsis in our esophagus. So now the food is in the stomach. The digestion of protein in the stomach. Okay, we look at the structure of the stomach. Okay, surface of the stomach wall is lined, okay, with epithelial cell. These epithelial cells are chief cell, perical cell, and mucous cell. Okay, each cell have their own function. Okay, for example, chief cell function to secrete pepsinogen. Okay, while perical cells secrete hydrochloric acid and mucous cells secrete mucus enzyme. Okay, once it combined with the hydrochloric acid, now it become pepsin. So pepsin is active enzyme. So pepsin will react, okay, with protein. So it can hydrolyzes protein to form polypeptide. So polypeptide is simple protein compared to protein. Okay, polypeptide is simpler. Okay, so this is the equation. Protein plus water with the presence of pepsin, it will form polypeptide. So this is hydrolysis process. Okay, the function of hydrochloric acid in our stomach is to prepare acidic medium. Okay, so the pH must be 1.5 to 2. And at the same time, it will kill bacteria in our stomach. Okay, the content in the stomach finally change to semi-fluid. So now we call it as chyme. And this chyme will enter the duodenum. Okay, now how is the digestion of carbohydrate, protein, and lipid in our small intestine? So this is the last organ that involved in digestion. Okay, there are three parts of small intestine: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Okay, so this is the structure. So this is our duodenum. Okay, continuous from the stomach, and then this is our jejunum, and the last part is ileum. Okay, duodenum is the first part of the small intestine which receives the chyme from the stomach. Okay, duodenum also receives bile produced by the liver and pancreatic juice secreted by the pancreas. Okay, so when we look at this structure, you can see this is the liver. The liver function to produces bile. Okay, what are the functions of bile? So the functions are neutralize chyme, okay, prepare alkaline condition in duodenum. So the pH of duodenum is 7.6 to 8.6, and also emulsify lipid. Emulsify means, okay, break down lipid into droplets. Okay, what is the function of gallbladder here? The small area here, the function is to store bile. Okay, so this is our pancreas. Okay, pancreas looks like a leaf. Okay, so function for pancreas are to secrete the enzyme. There are three enzymes here: lipase, pancreatic amylase, and trypsin. How to memorize these three? Okay, use this formula: LAP, LAT. Okay, LAT is L is lipase, A is pancreatic amylase. Okay, T is trypsin. Okay, amylase same is in our mouth, but we use the terms of pancreatic because pancreas secrete the amylase. Okay, next. In our duodenum, okay, so there are three equations involved because there are three hydrolysis processes. The starch plus water by the presence of enzyme pancreatic amylase, so it will form maltose. Polypeptide plus water by the enzyme trypsin, so it will form peptide. This is shorter protein, okay, peptide shorter compared to polypeptide. And lipid plus water by the enzyme lipase, so it will form glycerol and fatty acid. Okay, next, what happened to the ileum wall, okay, in our small intestine? So it will secrete mucus and intestinal juice that contains how many enzymes? There are 5 enzymes here. Okay, maltase, sucrase, lactase, lipase, and uracil. Okay, so what are the enzymes that involved in the digestion of carbohydrate? There are 3: maltase, sucrase, and lactase. Okay, so maltase, okay, it will hydrolyze the maltose. So maltose plus water, it will form glucose plus glucose. And then the enzyme sucrase will form from the sucrose plus water, so it will form glucose plus fructose. And last one, lactose by the enzyme lactase, so it will form glucose plus galactose. So this is what happened in the ileum. And one more, last one, lipid digestion, it involves lipase. So the lipase will hydrolyze lipid plus water, so it will form glycerol and fatty acid. Okay, so for protein digestion, okay, by the enzyme pyrexin, so it will form the amino acid. So peptide, it will hydrolyze to form amino acid. So now, what you can see, all the molecule become simplest size. See? Okay, now we look at the structure of the small intestine. Okay, so this is the bile from the liver. So this is the pancreatic tube from the pancreas. So it goes to our duodenum. So this is the structure of the liver. Okay, this is the gallbladder. This is our stomach. This is our pancreas. Alright. So you can see this is our duodenum. Yeah, duodenum. Okay, in here there are small particles and can be absorbed in our small intestine, which is ileum. Okay, now please take out a piece of paper. Okay, we want to draw the structure of our human digestive system. Okay, so please write down. Okay, my digestive system. Okay, so let us draw. Okay, so you just draw a stick man. Okay, like this, very simple. Alright, so this is our mouth. Okay, our mouth is the first organ. Okay, here there is the enzyme we call as salivary amylase. Okay, salivary amylase, the function to hydrolyze starch. Okay, starch. Okay, plus water, so it will form maltose. Okay, maltose. So please write the equation, okay, in your paper and label your mouth. Okay, so next, okay, the stomach. Okay, in our stomach, we also one enzyme here, so we call it as a pepsin, so which is the active enzyme. Okay, pepsin. Okay, pepsin function to hydrolyze protein. Okay, protein plus water, because hydrolysis process will form the polypeptide. Okay, polypeptide is smaller than protein. Okay, now next, okay, the chyme will go to our duodenum, right? Okay, so this is the duodenum. Okay, before that, okay, please draw the liver. So this is our liver. Okay, here this is like a leaf. This is our pancreas. Okay, so remember, pancreas can secrete three enzymes. Okay, so we call as LAT. LAT. Lipase, amylase, trypsin. Okay, lipase, amylase. Amylase is pancreatic amylase, right? Okay, so lipase first. Okay, so all of these enzymes will enter our duodenum. So this is our duodenum. Okay, so this is the duodenum. Okay, duodenum is the opening of the small intestine. Okay, now we write the three equations. The first involve the lipase. Okay, lipase must hydrolyze lipid. Okay, plus with water. Okay, so it will form glycerol. Okay, so remember with the fatty acid. So this is the smaller particles of the lipid. Okay, next, how about the amylase? Okay, pancreatic amylase. Okay, pancreatic amylase will hydrolyze. Okay, what? It must be starch, right? Same as in our mouth. Okay, plus with water, so it will form maltose. Okay, maltose. And the other one is the uh, trypsin. Okay, trypsin. Okay, trypsin. Okay, so write the equation. Okay, trypsin, the enzyme. So must hydrolyze the polypeptide. Okay, from the stomach. Okay, so plus with water, so it will form shorter protein which is peptide. Okay, so peptide. So all these thing become smaller. Okay, now it will enter our ileum. So in ileum there are 5 enzymes. So remember. Okay, so 5. Number 1 is maltase. Okay, to hydrolyze carbohydrate there are 3 enzymes, right? Okay, maltase. Okay, so must hydrolyze maltose because maltose is the substrate. Okay, plus water with the maltase enzyme, so it will form the glucose. Okay, now you can see it becomes smaller size. Okay, then how about sucrase? This sucrase, the enzyme must be S and sucrase. So the substrate is sucrose. Okay, plus water, so it will form glucose plus fructose. Okay, fructose. The last one is the lactase. Okay, lactase will hydrolyze lactose. Okay, plus water, so it will form glucose plus galactose. This is your prior knowledge in chapter 4, right? Okay, how about lipase? Lipase, the result must be same as the lipid here. Lipid plus water by enzyme lipase from glycerol and fatty acid. The same equation. Okay, please write down. The last one is the erepsine. Okay, erepsine function to hydrolyze. Okay, what? So peptide here, okay, continue from the duodenum plus water. So it will form the smaller monomer in the protein, which is amino acid. So now you can see all of this become smaller molecules. So ready for the process of absorption. So in total, all the enzymes, there are how many enzymes in our body? So very easy to see here, okay. So number 1, okay, 1, okay, in the mouth, 1 in the stomach, okay, so 2, okay, 3 from the pancreas in the duodenum, so 3 plus 2, 5, and there are 5 in our ileum. So total of enzyme here, there are 10. So please draw this statement and also all the equation. So it's easier for you to memorize. Okay. Okay, let's answer a few questions to check your knowledge. Okay, so first question. The diagram shows a human digestive system. Which of the part A, B, C, or D produce an enzyme that hydrolyzes fat? Okay, is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, look at A. A is our mouth. Okay, B is our stomach. C is the pancreas, and D is the large intestine. Which part uh, hydrolyzes the fat? This is the key word. Okay, which part hydrolyzes fat? So still remember, okay, must be what? Okay, the answer is C, right? Okay, because in C there are 3 enzymes, okay, LAT, lipase. So lipase function to hydrolyze fat. Okay, so the answer is C, right? Okay, now number 2. The table below shows class of food and enzymes involved in hydrolysis. So this is the classes of food, X and Y. So enzyme involved amylase, sucrase, lactase, maltase. Okay, then Y, pepsin, trypsin, erepsin. So what are the classes of food? Okay, for X, the classes of food must be all the amylase, sucrase, lactase, maltase. So remember the statement that we draw? Okay, so must be carbohydrate. Pepsin, trypsin, erepsin, all the sin must be for the protein. Okay, so what is the answer? Yes, the answer is A. Okay, how about next question? Okay, number 3, 5. What are the monomers resulting from the digestion of protein, fat, and carbohydrate? So this is the main knowledge that you need to know. Okay, protein, fat, and carbohydrate. What are the monomers? What are the simplest sugar? Okay, from protein must be what? Okay, amino acid. So lipid, fatty acid, and glycerol. Right. So carbohydrate must be the glucose. So what is the answer? The answer is B. The last question, number 4. What are mediums suitable for the hydrolysis of starch, fat, and protein by amylase, lipase, and pepsin enzyme. So what are the conditions of the pH? Okay, for amylase, this is in our mouth. So what is the pH? So remember, must be slightly acidic and slightly alkaline. So what is the answer? Okay, either B or C. How about lipase? Okay, lipase in our duodenum, right? So what happened? Okay, what happened to the pH? The pH must be alkaline, right? Because of the bile. Yes, alkaline. Okay, pepsin in our stomach got hydrochloric acid. So the answer must be acidic. So which one is the answer? Straight away you can see the answer is D. Okay, so we just finished our subtopic 9.2. So later we will continue with chapter 9.3. The title is absorption. Okay, bye-bye. See you again. Assalamualaikum.